Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today I want to run you through some changes I've made to the coupe. So now it's got front coilovers and S13 turbo brakes. Those were fitted on the ute before. So while I was down there, I got Dave to check out the steering too. Turned out it was just flogged out bushes, which is what I was expecting anyway. I always get Dave to do the brake stuff because I'm liable to fuck it up. Combined, the brakes, the coilovers, and the steering bushes have completely transformed the way the car drives. So first up, the front brakes are now in. The previous brakes were vented too, but I'm not sure what vehicle they're from. These are S13 SR20 turbo brakes, so they're big. They need 15-inch wheels to cover them, and I need 15s to fit. Appropriately, I've fitted teardrop rings from an S13, but to make them fit, I needed 20mm spacers. So I'll need to measure up the wheels and get some fitted, because I hate having spacers. And I want some dish. Now it feels way better braking. Even though the old brakes were not that bad, it was just the balance that was off. It didn't feel perfectly right. Now the pedal, the brakes, everything feels perfect, and it stops on a dime. It's really good. And the coilovers drop the height obviously, and I can adjust it as I need, but they just feel firm when I corner and compliant as well. So they're not too hard, but they still keep a very level corner, which is unreal. I love it. I love that feel when you get that corner that sits flat, but then when you're going over bumps, it's not too bad. It is definitely worse than it was before, in bumpy wise than a luxury car, but it's a sports car. So the coilovers have obviously dropped the ride height, they're adjustable, but what I like mostly is it just feels tighter, firmer, yet it's flatter through corners, yet it's not overly firm. It's still a bit compliant, which is what I love. So it still looks like a shitbox, but at least it's a controlled shitbox. The bigger issue before though was the front suspension. The shocks were okay, but the springs were too short for the shocks, as I explained in my original introductory video, and they were held in place by zip ties, so they could have fallen out at any time. Not obviously off the strut because they were coilovers, but out of the buckets holding it in place, which would have been a weird, who knows what would have happened. So now these new coilovers, not only are they adjustable, they're not going to pop out, and the ride, as I've already mentioned, is unreal, so I cannot complain. Another big issue I had with the coupe was the steering, and when I turned about a quarter of the way of the steering wheel, it would then go almost to half. Obviously the steering wheel wouldn't move, but the steering itself would, and I'd be going into oncoming traffic at times. Obviously I could correct it in time, but it was far from perfect. It was pretty scary actually. So now the bushes have been replaced and it steers unreal. Turns out it was the steering idler bush, and I think there was one other bush in the steering system that was the problem, so they were easy fixes. I also had a bent tie rod, which didn't affect the steering, but it's not ideal to have a bent tie rod, so I replaced that. You can see that in my recent short where one thing I didn't mention in that video was make sure you torque everything down to spec, the castle nuts and any other nuts you took apart, because they need to be torqued pretty tight. So yeah, the car drives so well now, and the bonus is the steering wheel sits perfectly. The T is perfect in the middle when I'm driving straight. I love when that happens, and I hate when there's always a left or right tilt in an old car, so we've got that sorted. And so now it actually goes where I point it, so that's sick. Okay, so now on to what's next. As I mentioned in my coupe intro video, I plan to basically move everything from this ute into the coupe. It should be easier and quicker because the coupe already has the R31 rear end. It now also has the front coilovers and brakes needed for the engine, so engineering shouldn't be an issue. Really all it needs now is remove the engine and put this engine in there, put the gearbox in there, put the tail shaft from here, hopefully that fits into there, it should, and then the wiring, wire it all up, and then we should be good to go. So the ute might die a parting out death, unfortunately. That's a bit sad, but I still do want to put those flares onto something. I'm not sure what yet. The 09 racing flares look good at the front, but the rear ones are a little bit weird the way they sit, so I wasn't convinced totally on them anyway. They might need some further work of the actual shape of the mold, but I've got the other smaller flares from a 240Z, so they could fit onto something. I don't think I'll put them on the coupe, but you never know. But the more I drive this coupe, the more I think it would be awesome to have the SR20 Ortec motor, 200 horsepower sitting in it. It would just be unreal, and it makes me lose interest in the ute basically. Long term, the coupe just makes more sense as the fun car. Oh well, either way you look at it, there's still heaps to do. It's not perfect, I'm figuring it out as I go, but that's half the fun, right? What I'll tackle next on the coupe is the remote battery relocation. It will go into the boot, so I won't need to run the small full rear HC20 that I've got in the ute. I can run something bigger, like a bigger Full River battery, or an Optima or Odyssey battery, which would be unreal. Not like I need to use the boot space to throw in my fishing gear or golf clubs anyway. So yeah, that'll be my next little project. I'll make a video on that and post it up shortly. Let me know what you think in the comments below, people. Should I try and finish the ute, or should I put everything into the coupe, or do something different with both? Catch you in the next one.